All right, well, it is a cold day out here. We're out here at the Trails in Anderson, South Carolina. Starting off, it's about 325 feet straight down that gap down there. And we're just going to see what we can do out here. They had a tournament out here this past weekend, so everything should be marked for OB and all of that. So I haven't played here since, I want to say, September. And the trees were all full then, so it's gonna be a little different course for me now, but let's just get going and see what we can do. All right, first I think we're gonna throw start the day off with the wave. See if we can get close and say hello. I like the way it's starting out. All right, I'm definitely not going to be upset about that. That was my first throw of the day, first tee shot, and I put it about 75 feet away from the basket. So we're going to take this fierce, see if we can get close. Gotta hate those trees. All right, so that tree kind of messed me up from getting close for a par, but let's see if we can get the judge in. All right, starting up, one up, but hopefully we'll get a chance to get that back. All right, so I'm behind the 8-ball already, but hopefully we can get close on this one. Hole 2, par 3, about 200 feet up around the left there. I'm going to take the Ultra Luna, see if I can take the hyzer route. There's kind of a straighter route. I just don't know that I can hold it on that glide for that long, so I'm just going to try to get this gap right above this bridge and bring it back around and see what happens. All right, so that tree kind of stopped me from getting across the creek. I got that little clump of trees right there in my way. Just take the fierce, see if I can get up close. That'll at least save my par. All right, we'll take that par. I have noticed these baskets are staged a little higher than like at Dacusville and some other places, so my tendency to hit the band or hit the basket below the chains is probably going to be increased on this round, but we'll see. All right, hole 3 is about 273 feet. You can't see the basket from here, but it's kind of up and just a little to the left. But we've got a tight grouping of trees that you got to try to get through. So I'm gonna take the function, see if I can kind of keep it low, and at least get over there to have a look at par. I got a little skip off to the left, but I think I should have a look at the basket. All right, I actually ended up better than I thought I did. I see the white markers for out of bounds. I am inbounds, and I'm probably, 10 feet? So, see if I can get in for a birdie. It's cold. My hands can't even hardly feel these discs. Nope, hit the basket, just like I said I probably would. But I'll be happy with a par. All right, hole 4, another par 3, 227 feet, kind of up the hill. Again, you got tight alleyways with these trees. So, like I said, I can't even hardly feel the discs with my hands, but take the function, see what we can do. I got a little more nose up on that than I wanted, but I should be able to get up and down. I landed somewhat short, but I don't want to take a chance of it hitting and rolling back down the hill, so I'm going to take the Alpus and just try to get up there and kind of set down right near the basket. Right behind that tree works for me. Step out. Man, I tried to hit that basket and miss, but we'll take the 3. So hole 5 is a 250-ish foot hole. You've got a straight line if you want to try to run it and risk it. Go through there, the basket's right down there. I'll zoom in on that. Or you can take the kind of an Anheuser route. Again, if I had a forehand, that'd be a nice forehand hyzer. We've discussed that. I don't have a forehand. So I'm going to take the Sidewinder and see if I can just kind of do an Annie and see what happens. All right. It started on the Annie and then kind of straightened itself out, flipped back up, but I think I'll take it. I've got a shot in. I should be able to get par from here. All right, so I've got all these trees right in my way, so I'm going to have to come up and around. Again, I'm just going to try to take the Alpus, see if I can just get it up and just have it come straight down. That is right under the basket. Another par. That's one thing I've had to learn. You've got to know what your skill set is, know what you can and can't do, and what you should and shouldn't do. So for me, going for par is always the best option. I can try to run some putts, but if I miss, I'm going to miss far, and then I'll have just as much coming back. So the wiser part of valor sometimes is just taking the par and moving on. All right, the T sign for this basket says about 230-ish. U-disc says about 270-ish. I think I'm going to go with U-disc. So I'm trying to decide if I want to throw the wave or the function. I think I'm going to throw with the function. Turn. Not that way. Well, skipped off that tree and landed in. You know, you have to be glad when your tee shot lands just short of that private property line. I get a meter in, so I won't be standing in private property when I throw my next shot. Alright, so we've got our meter in, and again, I could try to run this, but if I miss and I go long, then I'm not guaranteed par. So I'm just going to kind of float the Alpus up, let it land soft, and drop it in for par. That was ugly, but it'll work. All right, keeping up with the pars, still one up. So on the next couple holes, I need to try to get at least one birdie to even my score out, but we'll see what happens. All right, so hole number 7, the tee marker says 234. I think U-disc says 204. I'm gonna go somewhere in the middle, maybe straight up the top of the hill, and take the function, see if I can get up there with it. Oh, don't fade. That's right, I've got to look at the basket from there. All right. Again, know your limitations. Easy tap in for par. All right, so hole 8, I imagine if you wanted to play a Anheuser shot through this gap, I imagine you could do that. The double tree here is not marked as a Mando, but from looking from behind, you'll see where the basket is. It's right through there. So 168 feet-ish. I'm gonna take the fierce and see if I can punch it through. Now sit. That's right. I made it through, didn't hit anything. We'll get par. All right, I actually ended up pin high. Let's see if we can get this in for a birdie. I need it. Man, I wanted that so bad. Well. Take a par. All right, so hole number 9, the longest one on the front 9 is 400 feet. Basket is just basically dead straight. I'm going to kind of play out to the right and hopefully kind of let it fade back in. Take the wave because that seems to be my longest throwing disc. So. That's it. Now fade back. Fade back. I'll take that. That'll give me a shot up. This is still just a par 3 though, so I need to get up and in to end up 1 over for the round. All right, so U-disc, went back and looked at it. It said it was about 360 feet, not the 400 that the marker said back there. So I ended up throwing about 230 feet, which is average, especially on a cold day like this. About 130 feet in, I'm going to take the Ultra Luna, see if I can get up there. Curve in there, baby. All right, we have a chance for par. All right. Let's go with the judge. Man, I needed that to save the par on this. So I ended up 1 over, which has prompted me to say, you know what? It's not even 11 o'clock. So what do you say we go ahead and hit the back 9 too? All right, so it's hole 10. U-disc says it's about 283-ish feet. Basket straight ahead, kind of on that little downslope over there. Again, I'm just going to take the wave, try to punch it, give it what I've got. I'm happy with that. Got a little toss up and drop in for par. All right. Again, I'm not upset with this drive at all. Take the Alpus, try to get up here close. If not in, this one I'm not too worried about trying to run it. All right. Starting off the back 9 this way. All right, so hole 11 is an island shot. They've got flags marking the stone area around the basket. You have to land inside those flags. If not, you take a 1-stroke penalty, and they do have a drop zone that's marked. So just going to take the fierce and see if I can get it into the island area. I think I stayed in. All right, I'm in, but I got a rough second shot, but at least I don't have to take a penalty shot. Ah! The baskets are going to be the death of me. I did make par though, so I'm not going to cry about it. All right, hole 12 is about 245 feet, pretty much straight. The only one I'm really worried about is this little skinny tree right here in the middle, because that's right on my line. I'm going to take the function, see if I can scoop between that tree and the big tree and just get up there. What I don't want to do is go too far left, because it does kind of slope down toward the creek. Oh, too far left. All right, this was not as bad as I was expecting, but still not an easy shot. Just gonna take the judge. I'm gonna step out a little bit. Nah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna try to get it close. All right, that should work. All right, so hole 13, about 225, 230, something like that. Basket's right there. You can do an Anheuser shot around. Again, forehand would be great. There is kind of a straight shot too. I'm gonna take the Wombat 3 and try maybe do a little baby Anheuser in on that route right there. See what happens. Well, she hit a tree and skipped. I should still be able to save par though. Really, on that last tee shot, I should have gone further out on the other side of that tree for that Anheuser shot. I'm getting to where I can throw a better Annie, and I'm not trusting it enough, but I still have a shot between these trees to get up and down, try to at least save my par. That should save it. Wasn't going to hit basket on that one. All right, so hole number 14, about 290 feet. You have to go up through the trees and to the left. I'll try to zoom in. There's a tree out there that's got 3 white marks. The basket is to the right of that, so, or left of it if you're throwing. So I just want to kind of hit this gap, take kind of a medium glide, and then start fading. So take the evolution function here and see what I can do with it. That didn't hit the gap I wanted, but I think where I ended up, I should still have a pretty good shot in to try to get par on it. All right, so it wasn't the best landing place. Basket's right there, just up over the other side of that ridge. Again, I just want to get close so I can try to get in for par. Alright, well, I dropped right here next to this tree. See if I can get the Alpus to settle into the basket. I need to save par. All right, so hole 15, about 250 feet. Kind of go down the hill, over the creek, up the hill, to grandmother's house we go. You know, for about the last year, this Manta, it's a 146, has been kind of my go-to for straight shots. I just want to see if I can hit this gap, get somewhere over on the other side of the creek. All right, I definitely have an upshot to try to get par from there. All right, again, I didn't leave myself in a good position. I'm right here behind these trees. I am gonna see if I can kind of fade the Alpus up around. Yep. All right, so hole 16 is about 285 feet. Almost dead straight. Kind of got the little field goal trees you want to try to get through up there. So yeah, I'm going to try to take the wave and see if I can punch it through. Oh, come back, baby. All right, well, we stayed out of the creek. It's gonna be a long upshot though. All right, well, as you can tell, it's getting to be a beautiful day out here. I've got to go around this tree here. Still got to get up the hill. I'm probably still 70 feet out. So I'm gonna take this fierce because it usually fades out a little bit better for me. Let's see if I can get up close to the basket. Hit the tree. Thank you. All right, got to try to get that for par. Let's try a straddle putt. Oh, thank goodness. I needed that for my par. All right, so hole 17 it says about 300 feet. Of course, we know I can't throw that far, so straight up there. I think I'm gonna try this sidewinder again. At least try to get more than halfway. Give myself a shot in and try to make par. Roll, baby.
All right, so unfortunately, my phone died right after that tee shot on 17. You saw the sidewinder hit the tree and dropped. I was able to take the Fierce, the blue Fierce that I have. It went up, it actually hit the pole, so it landed next to the basket, was able to drop in for par. And then 18 threw up and to the left, upshot up by the basket and in for 3. So ended up 1 over on the front, 1 over on the back, 2 over for the round. I'm really not going to be too upset with. It warmed up as the day went on. I started getting warmer, so it was actually a beautiful, beautiful morning for disc golf once you started around, I don't know, 11 o'clock. So going to be doing some traveling, going to be out on the road. My wife and I are going to be gone for about a week. We're going to hit some disc golf courses on the road as we go across. I'm going to try to film out there as well. So we're just going to have a good time as we're in the holiday season here. So not exactly sure where I'm going to be next, but I will catch you in the next round.